Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and the Patriots do something that they have not done in 6 years. Yes, they have come away with a win in Miami. No, it wasn't just win the Super Bowl. It's a win in Miami. It's been a long time coming. It's finally gotten done. Mike Vrabel picks up his first time victory as head coach of the New England Patriots. We break down everything from the game, getting their record to 500, an important win overall as we look towards what the playoff chances for this iteration of your New England Patriots really looks like and how it's going to hinge on the O-line and this other very, very, very important skill group. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments and let us know what you think of the win in Miami. Is it as good as we think it might be? Is it game-changing? Can it be a liftoff point? Or is this just a little bit more of the same and going the different version of what we've seen? Also, make sure you go down, give us that like, and go back and check out all of our old episodes after this one. We start with a breakdown of a win is a win. So take it, put it in your back pocket. Mike Vrabel can frame it. And at the end of the day, yeah, this game had everything. It was back and forth, twists and turns. But at the end of it, again, it is the first time that your New England Patriots have scored 30 points in the past 47 games. Yes, 47 games it's taken for them to score 30 points. And there was contributions across the board. Obviously, the biggest one, the Antonio Gibson kick return after a punt return for the Miami Dolphins was returned for a touchdown to give them the lead late in the game. But again, going back to 2022 when the Patriots won 38-15 over the Cleveland Browns, again, a division victory. This is a Dolphins team that 2 years ago was in the playoffs, riding high. Looked like they could actually win if it weren't for some severe weather in Kansas City against the Chiefs, who eventually went on to win the Super Bowl. Had obviously all of the injuries, especially to Tua Tagovailoa last year, and they're in a bit of a funk as well. But this is a team that had talent, and that's why you saw Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle do the things that they can. Devin Achane was everywhere, and the Patriots had to overcome those things. So while it had its ups and downs, the Patriots did not quit in this one. Antonio Gibson's return helped make up not only for the special teams blunder to give up that punt return kick touchdown, but 12 penalties in the game. And that's probably the biggest thing that Mike Vrabel is going to write on that whiteboard again and again and circle and circle and circle. It cannot happen again if the Patriots want to get these things done. And we looked early in the season at the prognostications to say, look, well, you could say Vegas would be a win. You're opening at home. There's no way you're going on the road to win at Miami because you just don't do it. So those two things have flipped. So we'll see if that kind of evens out in the breakdown as we take a look at playoff chances in just a second here. But to highlight some of the major things that really went well for the Patriots, starting with Drake May, who was uber efficient, going 19 of 23, 230 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Additionally, he was using his legs a lot more in this game, and expect that to continue. And hopefully, Josh McDaniels can kind of keep the reins on when to use this and when not to, and when to let May improvise. He racked up 30 yards, 31 to be exact, on the ground over 10 carries, and added a touchdown for a 3-touchdown day overall. Additionally, Ramondre Stevenson was able to turn back the clock. While he had 11 carries for 54 yards, it was impressively his ability to catch the ball. Led all receivers with 5 catches and 88 yards in the game, including a huge 55-yard reception where it was a perfect ball from May. Outstretched arms came right over his shoulder. It's exactly what we thought we were getting for Travion Henderson. But it wasn't. It was Ramondre Stevenson in this game. So if you're looking at the flip side of the arrow up, the arrow down is Travion Henderson. Only had 3 carries for 10 yards. Yes, had 2 catches for 30, but expected him to be a lot more involved. Where Stevenson stepped up, so it didn't matter as much, but keep an eye on that if that becomes a bit of a trend. Also, Andy Borregales had a dismal start, missing 2 extra points early in the game that could have really cost the Patriots. Luckily, he was able to rebound connecting on a huge 53-yard field goal. But for a guy that's kicking in a stadium that he used to play all of his college home games, it was difficult to see, and especially with John Parker Romo going in Sunday Night Football for uh, Atlanta Falcons against his old team, the Minnesota Vikings. It is difficult. Also, Morgan Moses, the right side, was a bit of a problem for the Patriots. Had false start. He was beat several times. Obviously, he's not fully healthy, so you can't hold it too much against him, but something to keep an eye on. And finally, the secondary for your New England Patriots did not live up to it. Even Woodson got hurt. Alex Austin, again, filling in for Christian Gonzalez, just was not up to it. And that's why I think it is so important that, the Patriots get back Christian Gonzalez. And it's not that the playoffs are gonzo or the chances are not possible, but I really do think it's going to hinge on this secondary because if Christian Gonzalez is not there, do not expect this Patriots team to go to the playoffs. If he's able to come back next week or in week 4, and again, you don't want to push him. You want him to be ready. You want to feel good about it. But again, when do you decide enough is enough? Because it's been since July 28th that Gonzo has been out there. So you need to make a decision here. And Alex Housen had a really, really tough game, as well as several members of that secondary. Carlton Davis actually did play very well, but had his kind of hiccups on the injury side and was down a few times. Was able to overcome those, but the Pats obviously just need more depth in that secondary. And could there potentially be a reunion in store? Could they look at someone like Stephon Gilmore to bring a veteran presence there to help further de-escalate what's going on and get some fresh legs in there? They could also look to bring back someone familiar like DJ James, who they just moved on from last week in wanting to, really put a focus on special teams. But for me, I think at the end of the day, Christian Gonzalez continues to be the most important Patriot not named Drake May. They need him out there. They need him to be healthy. And they need, again, all these young players to really step up and do things. And that's why it is these young players, not just in the secondary, but on the offensive line. And I think why we saw Drake May be so successful on Sunday versus the Dolphins was because of the left side of that offensive line. And the Patriots went out and put 2 top 100 or 2 top 95 picks into that, and it happens to be your starting left tackle and left guard and Will Campbell and Jared Wilson, respectively. And both played all snaps, obviously. And in those 33 pass snaps, they allowed exactly 0 sacks and 1 pressure combined. So only 1 pressure coming from Will Campbell, who had to go on that blind side all day, and getting Chop Robinson for a lot of that as well. And again, they have really lived up to it and continue to get better. Obviously, Campbell did have the false start, which will be a factor, and you want to just see them clean it up. But you can kind of almost deal with some of the mental mistakes to say, look, get your head in it, but they're not getting physically beat. And these are guys that you could say were a little undersized, the arm length and all that. They are showing they absolutely belong here. And the bigger question right now is the health of Morgan Moses. And, could Marcus Bryant, another rookie who has really stepped up, end up taking his place when all is said and done? So there is a lot of things at play, a lot of youth out there, and it's a little surprising because of what is going on in the national media for the Patriots right now. And after the Jalen Polk trade, they decide to move on. They send him out to New Orleans, even though he's hurt. They add a 6th rounder, but you had to package a 7th in there for it. It completely decimates the past 2 draft classes for everyone essentially not named Drake May and Christian Gonzalez. But it's really difficult, to build a winning team without having young, contract controlled talent at your disposal. The Patriots don't have that now. So they're going to have to figure it out in real time. And that's going to happen by taking all 7 of their draft picks and putting them into positions where they will have to take on true responsibility this year and step up for the Patriots if they truly do have playoff aspirations here. Again, saying, are the Pats good? Are they bad? It's 2 games in. They lost to the Raiders. We'll find out tonight in Monday Night Football as they match up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we'll kind of find out in real time is if the Raiders are ready to actually make a push for the playoffs, or the Patriots just weren't ready in week 1. And similarly, were the Patriots, stepping back up, or were the Dolphins really just not where they have been previously? So a lot to still figure out. We really don't know at the end of the day. We know that the draft is going to put, excuse me, I should say the shortcomings of the draft a few years is putting pressure on these young kids. It's going to put pressure on Drake May. It's going to put pressure on Josh McDaniels. It's going to put pressure on Mike Vrabel, who in this game played without defensive coordinator Terrell Williams, who was away from the team due to health concerns. Zach Core stepped up in the fill-in role. But again, you gave up 27 points. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not good. It's not bad. It's right there. So again, 2 games in, we know probably the same amount of things that we knew over the past few weeks. I think put more stock into the young players on the offensive line. Put a ton of stock into 2 guys, Milton Williams and Harold Landry, who have earned every penny of their massive free agent deals as they were able to put some great pressure onto Tagovailoa and make it really difficult for him when it mattered most. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. We'll continue to have more breakdown of everything from the game later this week, preview into week 3, and everything you need to know about your New England Patriots coming out of Foxborough. Again, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel, get in the comments, let us know what you thought about the victory. If you have questions, throw them in there and we could answer them right here on the show. Make sure you give us a like and go back and check out all of our old episodes so you know what's going on with your Pats. Fight on, Foxborough.